Hey guys, it's been almost 2 weeks since I went to Florida for Destination D23 at Walt Disney World. Should have had my recap of the Walt Disney Studios Showcase sooner, but I haven't had the time to do it. And if you're wondering why I'm putting out in a 10-minute video, let's just say beyond Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube won't allow for long posts. So this is the best I can do for my recap. So I've got a lot to talk about what I saw from the Walt Disney Studios Showcase Destination D23. So let's get started. Okay, so first off, they had a montage in the form of a sizzle reel about Disney's releases they've had so far this year and what's coming next. And then they had a lot to tease and cover. So the first thing they start off with, thanks to the host of this panel, Disney legend and star Yvette Nicole Brown, was Pixar. And let me tell you, I think Pixar is the most promising of the studios that had a lot to show from this presentation. So the first thing they talked about is this year's the 30th anniversary of Toy Story. And to celebrate that, they had a video from Pete Docter, CCO of Pixar, and the director and writer of Toy Story 5, Andrew Stanton from Pixar Animation Studios themselves, to talk about how Toy Story was such a big risk at the time as the first computer animated film that they weren't sure how people would respond to it, but lo and behold, it turned out well. And they're looking forward to continuing the story with what's next in Toy Story 5. And before I go into Toy Story 5, they did share a couple things about Toy Story's 30th anniversary this year. First off, this coming Friday, September 12th, Toy Story will be back in theaters to celebrate its 30th anniversary for a limited time. So check that out if you can. And then this coming Thanksgiving, Buzz Lightyear is going to be back at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade along with Minnie Mouse and Spider-Man. So look out for those as well. And then they talked about Toy Story 5, which I think so far looks promising, especially going into its release in theaters next summer on June 19th, 2026. So they confirmed that, or reaffirmed, I should say, that Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, and Joan Cusack will be back as Woody, Buzz, and Jessie. They also reiterated how this film will be about the toys going up against technology and fighting for their relevancy. They revealed the new threat toys will be going up against with the form of a new character named Lilypad, who and now 8-year-old Bonnie is enamored with, to the point that she thinks she knows what's best for Bonnie and that more than the toys do, to the point that Jessie needs Woody's help and calls him back. And that's not the only character they're going to meet in this film. They also showed off Conan O'Brien's character Smarty Pants and revealed he will be a potty training device. It's kind of in character for Conan if you think about it. They also revealed that rather than write his name on the red wall where Pixar actors usually sign their names, he signed his name on the bathroom as well. So also in character for Conan. They also revealed the fully finished character models for the 50 Rogue Buzz Lightyear action figures stuck in toy mode that will cause considerable problems for everyone. In fact, the clip they showed of Toy Story 5 is the exact same one that they showed in Annecy in France. And while it may look finished now, there might be some little touches when we see the film in theaters next June. So the TLDR description of this clip is that it's about the 50 Buzzes waking up and realizing they're stuck on an island and they have to figure out how to get back to Star Command. And I have to say, the opening scene is really brilliant, that it gives me a lot of hype for Toy Story 5 when that will hit theaters next June, in time to celebrate Pixar's 40th anniversary. But before that, on March 6th, 2026, next year, Pixar will release their 30th full-length animated feature film to kick off the year of their 40th anniversary in theaters, and that's Hoppers, the story of a girl named Mabel who hops her mind into the body of a robot beaver to go on a mission to save her grandmother's glade from the construction of a highway from an evil mayor named Jerry, who will be voiced by John Hamm. Now, John Hamm wasn't at this presentation specifically, but one of the 3 clips that they showed was about him. But to introduce and set up the story within those clips, they brought out writer-director Daniel Chong, producer Nicole Paris-Grindle, and 2 of the other 2 lead stars of this movie, Piper Curda, a famous Disney Channel star who voices Mabel in this movie, and Saturday Night alum Bobby Moynihan, who voices the regal beaver king of the animal kingdom that Mabel will be looking for to help her with her mission, King George. They talked the story about a lot about how there's pond rules in the animal kingdom that they need to follow. In fact, the 3 clips I saw involved Mabel learning how to be accustomed to the animal kingdom and learn about the pond rules. The second clip was her embracing her animal side in the animal kingdom. And the third clip was a hilarious interrogation of the animals against Mayor Jerry to try and stop the construction of his highway on Mabel's grandmother's glade. And I gotta say, This movie really is going to be something unique and creative and fun when that hits theaters March 6th of next year. Although, come on, Disney and Pixar, Daniel Chong, you might want to delay it a week to March 13th just so you can get IMAX screens and be away from The Bride of Frankenstein, because horror's hot right now at the box office, and I don't want your film to be smushed by The Bride of Frankenstein a week before that. So, yeah. Before they moved away from Pixar, they had a little slate of logos for films that are yet to come after those two films, including 2027's Gato, which I'm the most excited for of the Pixar films yet to come, and logos for Incredibles 2 and Coco 2, Incredibles 3 and Coco 2, which will be coming out in 2020 and beyond. So that's Pixar. Next, they went into Disney Live Action, and they showed a 10-minute clip from Tron Ares after talking about the upcoming 4K remasters of the first two Tron movies on Blu-ray and a Tron light cycle run overlay at Magic Kingdom and Shanghai Disney, relating to the Tron Ares when it comes out in a month from today. And I have to say, despite the Jared Leto of it all and some issues people might have with how connected this movie will be to Legacy, I have to say the 10-minute clip I showed of the hunt for Greta Lee's character, Eve Kim, by the orders of Julian Dillinger, played by Evan Peters, with the help of his grid minions, I have to say, provides for some intriguing story for this movie, and I'm curious to see if this will be what Ares goes on to in terms of a path of finding his new identity and wanting to live. So we'll find out more when Tron Ares hits theaters October 10th, and I hope people give it a fair chance, because I don't think people should judge it unfairly over Jared Leto when there are 10 or 15 amazing things about that film that people might like. So, yeah. Now on to Marvel Studios. They didn't really show much for Avengers Doomsday. All they had was like a sizzle reel teaser recapping the already announced cast members with footage from previous films, and a video from the set with the Russo brothers and Paul Rudd teasing the scope and scale and cast in action in this movie. So we'll find out more in the coming months before Avengers Doomsday hits theaters on December 18th, 2026, which they reiterated again, so it's not getting delayed. All right, then we get to Star Wars, and all they had was a little clip, a fun, cute clip from the next Lego Star Wars Disney Plus series coming out in 9 days from now. Pieces of the Past, Rebuild the Galaxy, which is basically bounty hunter action. Our characters get caught in the crossfire of including a Lando in the suit of a Mandalorian defending Baby Grogu. And then they brought out three droid smiths. They brought out three BDX droids with an Anzel and Droid Smith on one of them to promote the Mandalorian Grogu, which basically led into them revealing the teaser trailer for the Mandalorian Grogu that people got to see at Celebration Japan in April, which I actually got to see myself for the first time in person. I gotta say, it looks like they're putting a lot of money and effort into this Mandalorian big screen film to usher in the return of Star Wars to theaters when it comes out next May. From the action to the sets to the inclusion of Sigourney Weaver and bringing in Jeremy Allen White to voice Jabba the Hutt's son from the Clone Wars Rod of the Hutt in this movie. So that'll be interesting. That's Star Wars. Then they moved into 20th Century Studios, where they talked about 4 films. First was Predator Badlands, where they showed an extended convention-exclusive new version of the trailer that is out online right now. And I got to say, it does look pretty exciting, and I can't wait to see more when it hits theaters November 7th this coming fall. Although the fact they brought it to Destination D23 does kind of interest me, given that there's rumors it might be PG-13 for the violence being very alien, green blood-ish, but we'll see about that. Then they show the trailer for Avatar Fire and Ash, which is already online right now. Looks visually stunning. Can't wait to see that December 19th. Then they revealed 2 big things. First, they revealed the title for the next Ice Age movie called Ice Age Boiling Point, and they revealed that it's now no longer coming out December 23rd, 5 days after Avengers, this year, but now it's coming out in 2027 on February 5th in time for the 25th anniversary of the original Ice Age. They also showed off the animation style, which looks similar to the original 5 Ice Age films, and Scrat Tales on Disney+, so that's a plus for that. And they confirmed that Manny, Sid, Diego, Ellie, Scrat, and Baby Scrat will be back, along with Buck as well. Then they revealed a clip from the animated Darth Wimpy Kid movie coming out in December in time for Christmas on Disney+, The Last Straw. And this one, I think, got the biggest laugh out of me in terms of Greg getting into trouble to the point where a dog bites his butt and has his eyes pop out of his head, which has got the biggest laugh. All right, then we get to Walt Disney Animation Studios, where they announced their 2026 film Hexed, which I'm the most intrigued about of the films coming out. And then they talked about Zootopia 2 and showed 5 clips from that film. And I got to say, with the involvement of Patrick Warburton as a former actor turned politician horse mayor named Wind Dancer, and finding out more about why Nick and Judy are choosing to go rogue and help Gary the Snake, and how this movie will be more about them. am not upset about the crime. I have to say, Zootopia 2 might be better than Zootopia 1, if not on par with it. So, all in all, good presentation. That's all I have to say. And yeah, you're going to enjoy these films.